Okay, the one in the corner is Grandpa May's sister when she was little. She died real young.
What was her name?
I'm not really sure. I think it was Sarah.
Okay.
And then this one here is Dad May and Grandma May and Lucille and Zach. I think it's Zach and Catherine. This is Grandpa May out at the old home place. That's Aunt Lucille and the bear Grandpa May used to have. And that's Grandpa May out at the old home place.
Here, hold up. Right here? Down below?
Right here.
Okay.
This is Laddie, his Grandma's old dog. This is Grandpa May, Grandma May, and this Indian's name was Oliver something, but I'm not sure what his name was. That's Grandpa May, Grandma May, and Oliver.
Okay, what's the occasion?
That was in Emmett, and I think they were just dressed up. They may have went to Mayetta to something. They used to go to a lot of powwows and stuff in Mayetta.
Oh, okay.
And this is Grandpa May and Grandma May. This is Grandpa May's brother. This is Uncle Bill May. This was just out at the old home place.
Mm-hmm.
This is Grandma May and Aunt Lucille. This is Grandma and Grandpa May and a coyote. This is Grandma May. This is Grandpa May and Aunt Lucille and the bear. This is when the kids were real small, and they lived in a tent by the river in Marion.
Oh.
And this is the tent they lived in. And this is Grandma and Grandpa May. And that was Losh and Arthur.
Okay.
And this one here is back when the kids were small. And this is Grandpa May, Grandma May. This is Lou. This is Losh. This is Joe. And this is Zach.
Okay.
This is Grandma May, and I don't know who the lady is. They're smoking cigarettes. This is Grandma May, and I don't know who the lady is smoking cigarettes. This is Grandpa and Grandma Shreve, who was Grandpa Shreve was Grandpa May's stepfather.
Okay.
And this is Grandma May, and this is Losh, and this is Arthur, and this is Zach when he was little.
You know, I only watched a couple times myself.
This is Grandpa May with his 10-gallon hat and cigarette. And that's Grandpa and Grandma May. That's Grandpa with his Indian blanket and headgear sitting on a rock. That's Grandpa May, Grandma May, and Aunt Lucille. This is Zach. I'm not sure who. I think this was Lash's first wife. This is Lash. I'm not sure who this is, and that's Lou.
Okay.
Okay, now this one here, can you get that up there, or you want it brought down?
Yeah, that one we gotta bring down. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, this is Grandpa May right here. And that was taken in Emmett. And I don't know what the occasion was. It was a bunch of Indians that were at their house that day.
Okay.
This one here is this Oliver, who was a good friend of Grandpa May's and helped him make a drum.
Oh.
This is Grandpa May, me, with his Indian gear on. This is Grandpa May, and this is his Indian drum. This is a crocheted flag that my mother made for him. This is his old Jesse James gun. It was a cap and ball converted over to bullets. This was an Indian beaded vest, and it was just gorgeous. And Grandpa May traded it for a lawnmower. Shortly before he died.
Oh my.
This was Daddy's beaded belt that he used to tan my bottom with real good. And this was just some of these Indian things that he had hanging. That was his room out on the front porch.
Oh my.
And that was Grandpa May in his Indian gear. That was Grandpa May
Is that
raking hay.
That takes weeks and months, huh? And can you continue it afterwards, or
Well,
can you exit it and then come back?
Yeah.
okay, that's Grandpa May in the middle, and that's Grandma May when she was young, and that's Aunt Lucille. And then that's Aunt Lucille and Johnny when they got married.
I gotta get my computer upgraded.
Okay.
Okay, this is me when I graduated from 8th grade. This is Zach and Grandpa May. This is Aunt Bessie and Uncle Bill and Lou and Grandma May. And that's Uncle Bill and Aunt Bessie and Grandma May. This is me and Zach's kids. This was Grandma and Grandpa May's 50th wedding anniversary. And this is Marie and Aunt Esther and Aunt Lucille and Harry, and that was Betty Jo when she was small.
Mm.
Let's see, where's some of the other ones? It's Lou and Aunt Lucille, Uncle Lish, Uncle Zach, me and Alice when she was small. This is Marie, Aunt Lucille, Eva, Susie when she was little, and Donald, Lou, Grandpa May, Betty Jo when she was little, Grandma May, Wayne when he was little, that's Alice's top of her head, Catherine and Zach. And then in the front down here is Lish, Evelyn, Larry, and me and Joanne. And this is kind of the same crew. This is Grandma and Grandpa May with the grandkids. This is Wayne, Donald, Susie, Betty Jo, Larry, Evelyn, Alice, Joanne and Alice. This is kind of all the same crew.
Mm-hmm.
That's Grandpa with Susie and Wayne and Betty Jo.
Okay.
Okay, this is Vince and I and Lish. That was taken just right shortly before he passed away. This is Lish when he was young. This is Lish and Vince fishing out off the spillway. This is Lish at his house with his pickup truck. That was when he could still drive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Lish doing his bait out the spillway. And that's Lish and Catherine. Long time ago.
Okay.
This is Marie and Lish and Betty Jo when she was a baby. This is Don and Bobby. This is Larry and Susie. This is my brother Lou.
And what horse is that?
I don't know what that horse is. That was taken a long time ago when they were still in, I think, Emmett or somewhere.
Okay.
This is Lou and Eva and Donald. And this is, I guess you know who these kids belong to, huh? That's Jared and Trish. And that's Donald and Susie and Grandpa May.
That's where I listed. Okay.
And that's Donald and Grandpa May. And that's Marie. That's Lou and Susie when she was a baby. This is Helen Ice and Eva and Lou and Grandma and Susie. That's Donald, Lou, Susie, Eva, and Larry. This is my brother Joe when he was in the Army in World War II. And this is my brother Joe when he graduated from high school. This is Joe when he was young and had a suit and thought he was pretty spiffy, I guess. That was Joe when he was a baby. This is Joe and Betty when they got married. She wore red jeans. They got married in Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
That's Joe on his bicycle. And this is Joe. That's Joe on a horse. And this is Joe And this is Joe, room 75 cents and up.
Oh, my
That was when they were in
goodness.
Emmett.
Okay.
Okay, these are the last pictures that was taken of Granny. This was in November before she passed away in December. And this was out at the motel just before Vince was getting ready to go overseas. And this was out at the motel. This was when we came home for our 102nd birthday party. And that was on November the 20th when Granny died on December 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted bread and jelly for breakfast, so she had her bread and jelly. And this was when I was getting ready to leave that morning. And this was her sitting in the chair. With her little skinny arms.
Mm-hmm.
You got it? Well, I tell you, Ben, you got your camera.
Go lie down. Lie down.
After you fix your britches.
I think these are all just newer pictures ever were.
Good shot. Good shot.
These are pictures of my Brett. Well, you got your camera, though, and you're going to take pictures to keep. I'm going to take you down the basement, and you can take a picture of the drum and stuff
Okay. Okay.
after I pee.
Okay. I understand.
First things first.
Because I'm going to turn the power off on this. As soon as you come out, it's my turn. I'm turning the power.
Move it. Stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is Grandpa May's drum, and I used to play it a lot, and he taught me to sing Indian songs with him, but I don't really beat it very much anymore because it's so brittle. But they used to tell the weather by this drum. When it was, see now it's not a real hollow sound now, but when it was going to storm, it would be real tight, and it didn't have any, you couldn't hardly hear it. And this is the beadwork on it. Grandpa May did the beadwork. Now this is the funeral side. And it has a different tone than the other side. This one has a more subtle.
Uh-huh.
And you can hear the difference between that and this is the funeral side that they played on. It's getting pretty fragile.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Okay, this is a necklace that, well, I get them fumbling around with it, that my daddy made me out of shark's teeth.
Oh. Oh my
There's a little girl. My mother used to crochet me these little dolls.
Hmm.
So Daddy beaded that. That was a pin. He made for me. This was one of my favorite necklaces Daddy made for me when I was a little girl. And it's out of an arrowhead, and he beaded it.
Oh my goodness.
And the rest of them, I guess I threw away over the years because I didn't think they were important. When I was a kid, they weren't important. As you grow up, they're important, but not they. That's the last quilt piece that Granny made. She was working on this when she died.
Hmm.
Okay, everybody used to argue about the family Bible, and when the folks passed away, they all was looking for the family Bible. Well, there never was a family Bible. It's recorded in a Household Discoveries book. And this is in Daddy's writing, and he didn't have Lisha's name spelt right, so obviously at the time he wasn't sure how to spell Lisha's name.
Uh-huh.
But this is Lisha Frances May, born September 25th, 1905, Marion, Kansas. Arthur Fred May, born January 11th, 1907. Died September 2nd, 1918, Marion, Kansas. Louis D. May, born March 4th, 1910. Zachy George May, January 18th, 1913. Joe S. May, born September 6th, 1915. Baby girl, born October 28th, 1918. She died at birth. And it's got Marion County, Kansas. It's got Chloe Elizabeth Beckholt May, born 1884, November 18th, in Ionia County, Michigan. And Stuart F. May, born January 15th. And the date's been changed a few times there. 1833 here in one place, then 1845 in Marion County, Kansas.
Marion County. Now, how is her name spelled? Because I can't read it.
Chloe, well, it's not spelled right here. It's C-H-L-O-E.
Elizabeth Beckholt.
Beckholt was her maiden name.
B-E.
C-K-H-O-L-T.
Okay.
And then at the front it's got, I think it was Benjamin Elisha Shreve, born December 14th, 1851 at Stock County, Michigan.
Huh.
But this was, everybody argued about the family Bible. Wanted to know who had it and what they had done with it. But there was no family Bible. It was recorded in this household book. And there's one of Daddy's arrowheads that was in the back of it.
Oh, my.
That my daddy whittled for me back when I was a baby. You didn't have toys, and so my daddy whittled me this horse.
Ooh.
This is, he used to tie knots, and this was a little belt he made for me when I was a little girl.
Oh, wow.
Out of knots. This was a belt he made for my mother, for your Aunt Lucille.
Hmm.
So he beaded himself.
Hmm.
This is a necklace he made for Mother.
Hmm.
This was a headband that was Granny's. Everybody thinks this is a German swastika, but it's not. It's just the opposite. It's backwards from a German swastika.
Mm-hmm.
This is a headband he made. And this one, I think this was for Granny. Not quite sure what this was, but Daddy made it. Whatever it was. Could be a G-string. What I got in here? Oh, that's just my first watch when I graduated from 8th grade.
Okay.
This is Grandpa May's headdress, and it's so fragile now. It's about fell apart.
Mercy.
But he made it out of eagle feathers. Okay. Now this is Daddy's medicine man robe. And according to Daddy, there were only two in the world, and it's made out of otter skin. And it has the bells on it. American flag that used to always fly at our house, and my mother crocheted this. Your Aunt Lucille crocheted this. And that was back when there was 48 stars. Okay, when I was a little girl, my daddy made me this. And this is all made out of knots. And if he were here, he could tell you exactly how many knots he had in there. And then my mother sewed the top, her and Granny. And it had a little jacket that went with it. Mother sewed it, Granny embroidered it. And then he made me these little house shoes, the little moccasins, and he beaded them himself. And got the leather and tanned it. This is Daddy's bow and arrow, and he made this himself. This is an Indian commanding stick that he was war god of 7 tribes, and this is the commanding stick that they used. And it had kind of neat in there the little balls they pulled out and put in there. And these are the drumsticks that he used to beat the drum with. This is an old wooden Indian spoon. This here, one time when I was just a little girl, this old man was a friend of Daddy's, and he brought this back from the Philippines during the war. And he wouldn't just outright give it to Daddy because it was bad luck to give somebody something with a sharp edge. So he left it on a porch. And it's a walking cane. And Daddy used to have a lot of fun with it because he would act like he was going to hit somebody, and they would grab it, and he would pull it out.
Hello.
With the sword inside. So he used to think that was pretty neat.